What's up, everybody? This is Christian coming to you from the Odd Shop, where we are purveyors of fine oddities, treasures, and thrifts. Today, I'm not in the Odd Shop, though. I'm in the shed that we are renting and turning into our online sales space. So as you can see all around me, we got some real spacey stuff going on, some shiny stuff. This is not a spaceship, although that would be sweet if it was. It's not. It is reflective insulation. So anyone who's ever worked with this stuff may already recognize we're not doing it quite the right way, but I promise there's a backstory to that. That backstory is I got all the stuff you see already installed on the walls and all this stuff right here for $25 at the last thrift store I worked at. Now, anyone who has ever priced this stuff out or worked with it knows one of those rolls is minimum $50, and they go north from there, and they can get pretty expensive. So I'm $25 into about $600 to $1,000 worth of reflective insulation. That being said, I have a very small amount, and I'm trying to do this as cheap as possible. So we took some shortcuts, because ultimately the idea is this is not long-term and doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to work for right now. What are some of those shortcuts? Well, you'll notice if you look behind me, this side and that side over there. What we did is we wrapped around the building, and then the ceiling is going from the back corner and coming forward. Ideally, what we would have done is on these rafters, we would have gone vertical this way. One of those pieces would cover about 2 of these bays, and then you staple it along, you go all the way up here, and you follow along all the way up the roof and back down the other side, and you do a bunch of vertical strips just like that. Why didn't we do it that way? Well, I'll tell you why. Because this shed has these braces that you see overhead here. I've got about 5 to 6 rafters. So what I did, I went to my scrap wood pile and I put a couple more braces up. That way, instead of going all the way up the triangle and all the way back down, we're just coming straight across. What's that gonna do? It's gonna save us material in the end. And since I don't wanna spend any more than $25 on this insulation, my goal is to finish this entire shed with what I already have. If I have to buy more, it's gonna triple the price of the project just buying a fraction more, one more roll. I'm trying to avoid that. Are there some problems with this strategy? Maybe. So one thing you'll notice is we have a little bit of sagging. That's because the spacing between the cross members up here is a little bit far, so it's more aesthetic. The real pain has been the taping. It makes taping a little bit more difficult on the ceiling, but nothing you can't overcome with a little bit more tape, right? If duct tape is good enough to get the Apollo 13 astronauts back to Earth, I'm sure it is good enough to fix my saggy insulation on the ceiling. How does this stuff work? So reflective insulation works much like your Hydro Flask or your Stanley mug work. So if you'll follow me over here. Right here you have a 2x4, that's about 3.5 inches. And what happens is when you put that reflective insulation on here, it creates an air pocket, just like the vacuum pocket that is in between the inner and outer skin or shell of your Stanley mug. Heat transfers great from one item to another, or from the source to an item. It can transfer over air, but it doesn't transfer, I guess you could say, as well, or it's a lot more easy to control when it's transferring across air. So when you create an air pocket, we control it with the shiny part of this insulation. That reflects the heat back and doesn't let it in. The insulation value we'll get out of this is about an R6 to an R8 if we did it properly. We sort of didn't, right? We got a little hood with it. We did a little bit of the getaway because I want to do this cheap. This space is only meant to last a year or two. I'm not trying to invest hundreds or even thousands of dollars into this. So even if I get like an R4 or R5, I'll be happy. The main goal is make this a workable space. So we built out framing. We built that out. Yes, we did. We cut a hole in the wall, reinforced the framing, installed an air conditioner. I think it's like 15,000 BTUs, so it's absolutely pumping for this space. The idea is keep it between 78 and 80 degrees in here so that I can work comfortably. It gets really hot in here in the summer. It's maybe 80 degrees out today, and it was 99 in here when I came in, according to the thermostat. on the air conditioner. So the goal is to get that down in the wintertime. It's to keep the temperature up. I'm going to be building a heater out of an old dryer a buddy gave me. Maybe I'll make a video on it. Maybe I won't. You'll have to keep watching and find out. You should also hit the like and subscribe button. If you hit that subscribe bell, you'll get a notification, and hey, maybe it just might be a video of me making a heater out of a dryer. Now back to our regularly scheduled programming. So anyway, back to me out of the goofy character. The idea is to keep it warm, maybe 60 degrees in the wintertime, warm enough that, you know, heavy socks and hoodie will make it, again, a workable space. Where am I at with this project? Well, we're about halfway. This took a little bit more time than expected and hoped, but we learned a lot, so we're expecting this half, the unfinished half here, to go a lot faster. Right now, I'm in the process of moving all of this back stock and inventory. Hey, look, that thing's on our eBay. You should check that out too. This is all 99% unprocessed goods, so I have to go through this, clean it, check it, make sure it's not broken, decide if I want to sell it in the store or online, price it, and then make sure it gets there. Take all that stuff and move it over here, where you can see I've already moved some stuff. That will give us space to work over there, and we can finish wrapping the insulation. Once that's done, it's putting the shelves back over here. This is going to be the general unprocessed area. Then there'll be a processing station where I clean, look over, or test items, make sure they're in a sellable condition. Once they are, I'll put them on another shelf. And on the other side of that shelf will be the pricing and photography booth, computer for listing, and my pricing guns to tag stuff that's going to go to the store. It'll get processed in that regard then. It'll get priced, listed, or set aside in a tote to come to the store. If it's coming to the store, end of story. It goes to the store, hopefully gets sold. If it goes online, it'll go on a shelf until it gets sold. And then we'll have in this general area over here, we're gonna have a little shipping station that we can do all of our shipping from. So that's the goal, but as you guys know, plans change. It all depends on what's going on, what comes your way. You know, we don't have a crystal ball, we can't see the future. All we can do is, take what comes at us, try to glorify God the best we can with the way we react, and, look at our current circumstances and make the next right decision. So that's what we look forward to doing with this project. I will update you guys again soon once we have some more stuff done, or even maybe when it's all the way finished and you can see the finished project. The finished project. So until then, I'm going to keep stuttering and working. You guys keep having fun.